Meanwhile, I want you to take a look at this. Just this. If you saw the words bye-bye scrawled on the bottom of a plane with these faces, would you get on the plane? Well, 13 United flight attendants wouldn't, and they were fired. So now they're suing. Do they have a case? Deborah Blum says yes, they do. Troy Slayton says no, they do not. Deb, why do they have a case?
Well, there were 13 flight attendants who were fired by United. Each of those 13 flight attendants had over 18 years experience with United.
And they all said, because they saw this, no way.
They wanted United to conduct a sweep of the plane. So they wanted all of the passengers to be escorted off the plane and for the plane to be checked. United refused to do so, so they felt that the plane should not fly. They were absolutely correct. It's better for the passengers to be removed from the plane than for passengers to remain on the plane and there to be a potential safety threat.
Troy, wouldn't this be either mechanics or those working on the ground that would have done this maybe as a goof or whatever, and, or what?
That's probably what happened, but it really seems like these flight attendants are sour grapes. The pilot, the ground crew, the maintenance operations all said that they checked the plane, they did a protective sweep before the passengers got on, and everything was safe. The pilots don't want to get hurt or die.
Did the pilots know this was on the bottom of the plane?
No.
They did not.
Yes.
Anyway, United guys put out a statement to us. We asked for it, and they said our flight operations, safety, and maintenance teams appropriately investigated and determined there was no credible security threat. We cannot comment further on the details of this pending litigation, but we intend to defend against it vigorously. So they did check it out, according to that, Deb.
Well, they did check it out. However, the captain of the plane made light of it, and the flight attendants who, like all of us, hear of all the threats of terrorism and actually see that there is terrorism, there are very specific procedures that are put in place that are supposed to be followed, and they felt that those were not followed. Also, they were kept in the dark. When people are kept in the dark, such as flight attendants, that breeds hysteria.
Well, how do you know they're kept in the dark, Troy? There's some people that passed, the pilots passed along to them, look, we looked into it, it's nothing, or that they had already been cleared, that the plane was safe, no need to worry. What do you think of that?
The pilots are in charge of the flight. They felt that it was safe. It's really sour grapes. These flight attendants are like, they didn't like what Daddy had to say, so they're going to cry to Mommy.
Well, there's a dispute of that. Some say the pilots did not know about these drawings on the bottom of the plane, but afterwards they more or less said, no big deal, because we've already checked, everything's okay.
Well, the pilot didn't know until the flight was in San Francisco. And once the pilot found out, they didn't actually tell the flight attendants until after 30 minutes went past, if not hours. So the flight attendants were kept in the...
So you don't think they should have been fired? Should they have been reprimanded?
They absolutely should not have been fired.
Should they have been reprimanded?
They violated a direct order, and when you violate a direct order to fly, you could actually be terminated.
Okay.
However, in this situation, that was not the appropriate remedy. Most of them did not have any prior reprimands on their file. United really overreacted and fired 13 flight attendants who had been there for over 18 years.
Troy?
This is insubordination, Neil. Insubordination. If you don't do what the boss says, you get fired. Now, there's
but if you're concerned for your life, I mean, the boss should be a little understanding, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
especially in this day
it has
and
to be a rational fear. It can't just be an irrational fear.
Well, I don't know. That drawing kind of brings out the irrational fear in me, but that's just me, right?
It says bye-bye. Would it have been better if it was in French and they said bon voyage?
No, it would have been better if it was not all. I'm not, you know, that's what I'm saying. But, guys, thank you. We'll see how they sort this out.